Introduction. Friends, as we all know that we need energy for performing various daily activities. We get this energy from the food that we eat. So we can say that nutrition is a process by which all living organisms take food and utilize it to get energy. Both animals and plants are living organisms. Like animals, plants also require energy for their life activity. Thus, nutrition is an important life process of all living organisms. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define nutrition, describe autotrophic mode of nutrition in plants, explain the process of photosynthesis, describe heterotrophic mode of nutrition in plants, explain the different types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition.
Good morning everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the lesson that is the nutrition in plants. So before going to start the lesson, just we will recall what we have learned in our 6th standard. So we have learned regarding the food and where does it come from. So as you know, food it is very essential to our body. You may ask me now that why we need food. Yes, of course, we need food to perform the several activities. Then which are the activities? So for the growth and development, for the reproduction, for the respiration, for all these process, and even though for reading, writing, playing, and for sleeping also we need energy. Then for that energy, where does it come from? Of course, the energy it will be come from the food. Then what it is made up of? Food, what it is made up of? What are the components of food? So components of food we are also calling as the nutrients. So in that, as we know that here the components of food it is made up of the carbohydrates, lipids, and fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Here carbohydrates, lipids, see both including that we are calling as the energy giving food. These two we are calling as the energy giving food. And the proteins we are calling as the body building food. Next, vitamins and the minerals we are calling as the protective food. Including this, we also need the phases and the water also. So that is also most of important for the survival. Then you may ask me now that food, where does it come from? As we have learned in 6th standard, that is food we are getting from the different sources. So those sources may be we are getting from the plants products and also we are getting from the animal products. Then which are the plant products? So plant products are the stem part, leaf part, root part. So we are eating. So those also we are calling as the vegetable part. Fruits also we are eating. So that is all we are calling as the plant product. Then which are the animal products? Animal product is nothing but milk, curd, butter, ghee, meat, egg, so etc. So these are all we are calling as the animal product. As we know that plants are the only organisms which are preparing their own food. Then what about the animals? Animals and including the human beings, they are depending upon the plants. Then you may ask me now that how does the plants they are preparing their own food? How their plants they are preparing their food? So in this lesson we are going to discuss about the nutrition in the plants. That how does the plants they are preparing the food? So in which part the plants they are preparing the food? Now we are going to discuss about in the lesson, that is the nutrition in plants. Yes, now we will discuss about the mode of nutrition in the plants. Yes, as you know, plants are the only organisms which are preparing their own food by using the carbon dioxide, water and minerals. So these are we are calling as the raw materials present in the surroundings. So why we need nutrition? Nutrition we need to grow and to repair our body parts and also to get energy to perform all the life process. Then what are the types of the nutrition? Here there are two types, autotrophic nutrition upon the plant products and the plant eating animals. So those we are calling as the heterotrophic nutrition. So you may ask me now that why our body cannot prepare food by using the carbon dioxide, water and minerals available in our surrounding. Here there is a difference in between the animals and the plants. So plants, they are having the certain food factories, but those food factories, they are absent in the animals. Because of that food factories only, plants, they are preparing their own food, but animals, they are depending upon the plants, so they are not preparing their own food. So now, how does a plant, where they are located, food factories in a plant, where they are located? Is it they are present in whole parts of the plant or in a particular parts? Then how does the water and minerals, they will be transferred in the plants? Then all we are going to discussing about the one of the process, that is, you have well known, that is the photosynthesis. So now we are going to discuss about the one of the major topic, that is the photosynthesis process. Yes, now we are going to discuss about the one of the well known process, that is the photosynthesis. By using the photosynthesis process, plants, they are preparing their own food. So as I said before only, food factories, they are present in a plant. Then where they are located? Here food factories, they are present in a leaves. Leaves are the major part in a plant, that their photosynthesis process is taking place in the leaf. As you know, that is water and minerals that will be absorbed by the roots from the soil. So that it will be transferred to the leaves. Means it will say that all the minerals, water and carbon dioxide gases, that should reach the leaves to take place the process, that is the photosynthesis. You ask me now that, so how does the gases it will be enters to the leaf? So carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide gas, it will present in the air, that it will be reaches the leaves through the tiny pores. So those tiny pores we are calling as the stomata. So stomata, how it is present? Where it is located? Stomata, they are located in the leaves. So this is the structure of the stomata. This stomata, it is surrounding by the guard cells. This stomata, it is surrounding by the guard cells. So here, through this stomata opening, the gases, the carbon dioxide, it will be enters through the stomata. So here, when the stomata, when it will be opened, then the gases, they will be enters through the leaves. Okay, stomata, it will be open sometimes and it may be closed for the sometimes during the process. So when the stomata it is open, then through that opening, the gases, the carbon dioxide, it will be enters through the leaves, through the stomata. So here the stomata, it will be covered by the structural units, that is the guard cells. It is the surface of the stomata, it is covered by the guard cells. So I want to give you some of the information regarding the cells. What do you mean by cells? As we know that the building is constructed by using the bricks. So like that our body also, it is made up of the structural and functional units. So those units we are calling as the cells. Cells are the structural and functional unit of the living organism. So what is the structure of the cell? What it is made up of? How it is present? Now we are going to see the structure of cell here. Here the outermost cover of the cell, outermost membrane of the cell. So that is we are calling as the cell membrane. Cell membrane, or also we are calling as the plasma membrane. The outermost layer of the cell we are calling as the cell membrane or plasma membrane. Here the colorless jelly-like substance present here. Colorless jelly-like substance present here. So this colorless jelly-like substance we are calling as the protoplasm. structure. So that spherical structure we are calling as the nucleus. Spherical structure we are calling as the nucleus. So the liquid present in between the nucleus and the protoplasm. So this liquid, it is also color-like jelly-like substance. The liquid present in between the nucleus and protoplasm, this liquid we are calling as the cytoplasm. The colorless jelly-like substance, liquid which is present in between the nucleus and protoplasm, this is we are calling as the cytoplasm. Here, cytoplasm, what it is made up of? Here, cytoplasm is made up of the several cell organelles. Which are those? So those are the mitochondria, ribosome, lysosome, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, vacuole, centriole, etc. So those are what are the functions of those that all you learned in a higher classes. Okay. So now this is the brief information regarding the cell. Cells are the structural and the functional unit of a living organism. So all these cell functions should be controlled by the nucleus. So here nucleus we are calling as the headquarter of the cell. Headquarter is nothing but it will be controlling and maintained by the all the activities that it will be held in a nucleus, that it will be held in a cell. So that is nucleus we are calling as the headquarter of the cell. Like that, the cytoplasm, several organelles they are present. Those organelles, by combining those, they will be performing the most of the activities. Like that, for that purpose we are calling as the structural and the functional. Nothing but each organelles they are having the definite structure, and also each organelles they are performing the several functional. So that all we are calling as the structural and the functional unit of an organism we are calling as the cell. So regarding the cell organelles, you can learn in a higher classes. Okay. So here we have learned that is the gases that is carbon dioxide present in the air. It will be moves into the leaves through the tiny spores. So the tiny spores we are calling is the stomata. Means carbon dioxide it will enter through the leaves by the stomata. Next, you may ask me now that how does the water and minerals it will be enters through the leaf. So water and minerals it will be enters through the leaf by the roots. So the roots they will be absorbing the water and minerals which is present in the soils. They will be absorbed. After they will be passes through the all parts of a plant. So here they are having the certain vessels. So vascular bundles we are called. Vascular bundles those are the xylem and the phloem. So these two vascular bundles, the minerals and water it will be supplied to the all parts of the plant. That is through for the stem, through the branches, and for the roots also it will be supplying by the pipe-like structures. So those also vascular bundles. These are vessels we are calling that. So regarding that vessels, how they are working, you can learn in a higher classes. Now we will. Here we have learned that is carbon dioxide present in the air. It will enter into the leaves through the stomata, and also we have known that the water and minerals present in the soil that will be absorbed by the roots and it will be transported to the leaves by the vessels. So these vessels we are calling as the vascular bundles. That is the xylem and the phloem that you can learn in a higher classes. Now, what is so special in leaf? That the photosynthesis of food it is prepared only in the leaf, not other parts of the plant. Here the leaf it is having the one of the green pigment, that is the chlorophyll. Here the chlorophyll it will be capture the sunlight, and from this sunlight by using the carbon dioxide and the water food it will be synthesized. Here the photo is nothing but light. Synthesis is nothing but prepared. Food is prepared in the leaves. Food is prepared in the leaf by using the light, carbon dioxide and the water. So this process we are calling as the photosynthesis. As we know, the sunlight, it is abundant, it is a unique process on the earth, and here the sunlight it is the ultimate source of the energy for all living organisms. See, during the photosynthesis process, we can what it will be happening. So during the photosynthesis process, I will be represented by using the one of the chemical equation. Here, that is carbon dioxide plus water. It will be gives rise to carbohydrate. Photosynthesis process is represented by the equation, that is the carbon dioxide plus water. It will gives rise to a carbohydrate and oxygen. Here, this part we are calling as the reactant. And this product here, this is we are calling as the products. So during the photosynthesis process, here the plants they are using the carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight. It will give rise to the carbohydrate. With that, oxygen gas is released. Here, carbohydrate is nothing but we are also calling as the starch. Starch also we are calling as the carbohydrate. So food it is prepared by using the carbon dioxide, water and sunlight in the presence of the chlorophyll. So this process we are calling as the photosynthesis. Photo is nothing but light, synthesis is nothing but prepare. Food it is prepared. Here carbohydrates it is a food. Food it is prepared by using these. That is carbon dioxide and water in presence of sunlight. So in this oxygen also it is released. As you know that oxygen it is very essential for all living organisms. So now can you think what it will happens in the absence of photosynthesis process? In the absence of photosynthesis process, life it will be impossible. How means? So if there is no photosynthesis, there is no food, then they are not getting oxygen to survive. So life it will be impossible in the absence of the photosynthesis. Now you may ask, the food it will be stored. How can you test? How can you prove the photosynthesis process? It will be taking place in the leaves only. So the food it will be stored in the form of starch in the leaves only. You may ask me that another question. That you may ask me that so here there are different varieties of the plants. They are having the different colors. So you might have seen that there are brown, yellow color, red color leaves also they are present. Then does the photosynthesis process is taking place in these plants also? Yes, of course. So those plants which are having the red, brown and yellow color, so those plants they are having the another one pigment, that is anthocyanin. Anthocyanin. So red, brown and yellow color leaves they are having the one of the pigment, that is the anthocyanin. That anthocyanin pigment it will be covered with chlorophyll. It will mask the chlorophyll, so that in that leaves also the photosynthesis process they will be taking place. They are also preparing the food. And you might have seen that in some of the areas you are seeing the green patches on the ground and the wall. So what does it will be indicate? Green patches are nothing but those we are calling as the algae. Those we are calling as the algae. Here algae also they are present in green color, nothing but they are also having the chlorophyll pigment. If they are having chlorophyll pigment means of course they are also preparing the food. Here algae also they are preparing their own food. Yes, here there is one diagram that shows the photosynthesis process. Here plants they are preparing their own food by using in the leaves their chlorophyll it is present. So the chlorophyll it will be absorbs the sunlight. Chlorophyll it will be absorbs the sunlight, and by using the carbon dioxide, water, this chlorophyll it will be forms the carbohydrates and also it will be releases the oxygen. So this is the photosynthesis process. Here this is a photosynthesis process which is very essential. Now we will move on to the synthesis of the plant product other than the carbohydrates. As we know, during the photosynthesis process, say carbon dioxide, water, it will be gives rise to the carbohydrates and the oxygen. It will be represented by using the chemical formula CO2 nothing but carbon dioxide and H2O that is the water, C6H12O6 is nothing but the glucose and also we are calling as the carbohydrate. Glucose or carbohydrate, O2 is nothing but this is the oxygen gas which is liberated during the photosynthesis process. Now you may ask me that question here, that is during the photosynthesis process the carbohydrates it is formed, nothing but food it is formed. Then what it is made up of? Carbohydrates it is made up of the components. Those are the carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. You might have asked now that in carbohydrate where does they come from? As of course, as you know, carbon dioxide, carbon it is present, oxygen it is present, and hydrogen gas also present. So in the carbohydrates, these are all elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These elements it is present in the glucose, or these are present in the carbohydrates. Now, as we know, so these carbohydrates it will be used to synthesize the other food product. Other food product is nothing but that is the proteins and the fats. How does? Yes, carbohydrates are used to synthesize the other components of the food. Those are the proteins and the fats. Here, proteins and fats. What are the units of the proteins and fats? Here, proteins they are made up of the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So, as we know, here carbon, hydrogen, oxygen we are getting from the carbon dioxide and water. You may ask me now, nitrogen, where does it come from? In the food product, the proteins which are made up of the nitrogen, where does it come from? Nitrogen. As we know, in a nature, abundant amount of the percentage of gases in the nature, that is 78% of nitrogen it is present and 21% of the oxygen it is present and 0.04% of the carbon dioxide it is present. Remaining the inert gases they are present. So the nitrogen, total 78% of nitrogen, abundant nitrogen it is present in the atmosphere. Then how does the plants they are using the nitrogen? As you know that the nitrogen from the atmosphere, the plant directly they are not taking for the synthesis of the food. Then how they are preparing? Here the soil it is having the certain bacteria. That bacteria it will convert the gaseous nitrogen into usable form. So nitrogen it is present in the gaseous form. That gaseous form it will be converted into a usable form. Then soil that it will be absorbing the usable form of nitrogen and through the roots it will be supplied. Through the roots it will be supplied to the all the parts of a plant. So like that the plants they are getting the nitrogen, and also the farmers they are adding the nitrogen fertilizers, nitrogen rich fertilizers they are adding to the soil. Here through the soil the roots they will be absorbed. Later it will be sent to all parts of the plant. Like that the proteins in a food, including carbohydrate, proteins and lipids also they are forming. Regarding the photosynthesis process, how does the carbohydrates they are usable to the formation of the next components of the food, that is the proteins and the fats, by using the some of the elements present in the raw materials which are available in the surrounding. Tomorrow we will discuss regarding the other mode of